Hey guys, in this example, we are going to compute some common size percentages for the balance sheet. Now, I want to show you a little trick here that if you're using a homework lab can make your life a little bit easier, okay? Watch this. I'm just going to highlight the balance sheet information here. We're going to do copy, and then we're going to hop over here in Excel. And we're going to do paste. Now, don't get too scared because at first it kind of looks like a mess, okay? But it's pretty easy to clean it up. You can kind of see the process that I'm following here to clean it up. And if we want to make it so that the lines aren't so big, we can do that, and voila. Now we have the balance sheet in a usable form that is pretty easy to work with, okay? So now we are ready to solve for our common size percents. Now, when we're doing common size percentages for the balance sheet, remember that total assets is always your 100% mark. Now, technically, total liabilities and total equity are also a 100% mark for liabilities and equity, but as we know based on the accounting equation, total liabilities and total equity are always the same as total assets. So I think sometimes, especially when you're doing the calculations in Excel, it just makes sense to use total assets as that point, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to insert a column, okay? And now we're going to show each of these line items as a percentage of total assets, okay? So I'm going to say equals this cell divided by this cell. And I'm going to hit F4 so that it locks that denominator in place, okay? And what this is going to enable us to do is to copy and paste that formula in all of these other spots, and it will the denominator will remain the total asset figure. Now you see it tried to show me dollar amounts here, okay? We need to put it in the form that we need it, okay? So they want us to round percentage answers to 1 decimal place. So for this column, I'm going to go up here and click on number. We're going to go percentage, and we are going to move it over 1 decimal place, okay? All right, and so now we can copy and paste that, all right? And voila, you see, we would expect this to be 100%, and it is indeed 100%. And we're going to do the exact same thing for the liabilities and the equity, okay? And you will follow the exact same approach for 1 year ago and 2 years ago. You're going to insert a column. You're going to lock the denominator on the total asset amount, and you're going to calculate your percentages just like we did here. Let's go ahead and go over here and enter them in this first column to see if we are right. 5.8%, 17.6%. Merchandise inventory is 21.1%. Prepaid expenses is 1.9%. Plant assets is 53.6%. Total assets are 100, and we'll put 0.0% because I think that's what they want us to put because we are rounding to 1 decimal place. You do have to be careful in the homework labs. Sometimes they'll kind of trip you up with things like that. So just pay attention to what kind of answer they're looking for, you know, in terms of how many decimal places or how they want it entered and that sort of thing. Okay, and I'm just typing, you know, I'm just keying these answers in from right over here where we computed them. 24.1%. This one should be 100%. Now, let's go up here and check our work just to make sure that we are right for the current year. And we are correct for the current year. Again, now you can just follow this exact same process to compute the amounts or the percentages for 1 year ago and 2 years ago. Just use the total asset amount for that year as the base. Just like when you go 2 years ago, you'll use that total asset amount as your base number. And just remember to format your results as percentages rounded to 1 decimal place. That way you'll have the answers in the format that they're looking for in the homework lab.